comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
I know, I'm a little late. Half hour. I was up at 10. It just sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to get going. So, yeah. Okay. Feel kind of wore out. Yesterday was an emotional day. And, yeah. Looks like we already got people here. I'm still sharing. I got 9 more days of this crap, and then we can go back to normal. I'm kind of excited for it. It's almost like another grand opening now. But turn it into something positive. Hey, we're coming back. We're gonna be on Facebook now. I have no reading for this, so yeah. I probably should have put something together, but what goes through my mind, and this topic was brought up by another listener. If they show up, I'll give them credit, but heck, they may be here for all I know. No. Oh, no. I think it's so cute when I meow back at my kittens and they come calling and they come running. Yeah, come here, Quiver. No way, I can't pet you 5 feet away. This is Ronan. He's the runt. He's a runt, and he's ready to go. He's like, I don't want to be held, Dad. Okay, pet me, Dad. So, something I'd like to share before I get going. The 6 p.m. meeting yesterday, we had a person show up and they said that I had really no, hi, yeah, she didn't want love a second ago. And he was in the meeting and I guess he had told me that he had 30 days, and I got pretty excited. I get really excited for anybody with 30 days because there's magic in 30 days, man. There's magic. I know that you may be coming up on a good night's sleep. That third step might start taking effect. Thank you, Patricia. Yeah. I'm 54 today. Jimi Hendrix has been dead 54 years today. I was born 4 hours after Jimi Hendrix died. And that's true. That's actually true. But yeah, he showed up and he said that I asked 6 years ago, and I've been going live ever since. I didn't even know this person's name. But I'm not bringing that. Well, it feels nice. So yeah, I'm not going to say that there isn't a little bit of headiness in there, because of course there is. What makes you feel good, but you just double down on humility. But it was just neat. There were some other things that he said, but it was in private. 70 years old, never been to an AA meeting, but he went to that meeting last night because he wanted to support me. I know, buddy. I love you too. Yes, I do. The question is, what do you want? What do you want? You don't love me this much unless you want something. So go pick on your brother or something. All right. I love him, but I can only handle so much kitty around my neck. Usually it's cats that determine Cat said, determined when love is. No, I'm a cat whisperer, and I decide, no, now's not a good time, dude. So, but he said that he had said something. So I do want to kind of bring something up here where I appreciate the fact that people utilize me to stay sober, and I think that's great. But I'm not the only experience, and I want to bring that up. I'm not the only experience, dude. Enough. All right. Okay. So this topic was suggested by a person who isn't here yet. Angel brought it up. She'd been here. We're, you know what? This has just become a group of people that we all know each other now. I've been doing this on purpose. I've been introducing people and reintroducing. A lot of us already all know each other. It's just that we were separated intentionally. We were intentionally all separated. So, um, I certainly didn't mean to minimize my impact. I apologize to me if I did that. Yeah. Um, I think I'm just trying to stay humble. I can't take credit for that, guys. I can't. I can't take credit. Right. So wow, this is a great topic. It's a good topic. I'm trying to think of something in the big book I can read, but nothing's really coming to mind. If there's something that you can think of that would be a good fit, please let me know. I'm thinking about the part that's then there's action and more action that goes into step 10, 11, 12. But our lives are based on action. But, you know, a lot of times I ran my mouth and I never did anything about it. That was me. I was the little boy that cried wolf when it came to alcohol. Um, I was always saying I was going to stop and I couldn't. It isn't that I wouldn't; it's that I could not. It took me a few years to get off the hooch, and hello, hello. All right.
Hey,
I don't think I did this. Welcome, Daily Trudge. I'm Dion, and there's Daryl. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. So, what I was saying is, before when I was drinking, I was the little boy that cried wolf. Um, I created problems. Um, you know, there was a lot of things, but I never followed through on anything that I said I would do, ever. And so when I got into the program, this is where time is really the only factor for me is when it comes to trust with people that I've hurt. Um, I know that that's going to take time, and there's also God's time, but that's a different topic. Um, so instead, what I do now is I do the action and then I talk about it. It's really the you know, it's Dion having the cart before the horse again. You know, sure I had a great idea about a house and things like that, but I know that it's going to take a tribe of people to put that together. You know, this isn't something that we do alone. But it had to be worth something first. So for the last 3 4 years, I've worked on resources. Very good. I have very good relationships with my resources, and they're fantastic. A lot of people in the right places know my name and stuff. And I had these hard conversations with these people, and I went out and I did the work. I did the work. Um, you know, so it's kind of like the podcast. I was talking about the podcast, and that I prefer that you have a year. And that is because I know that there needs to be what it's like now, and there needs to be enough of that. And this is kind of the same thing. In the beginning, I couldn't back up my talking. So 90% of my job was just keeping my fucking mouth shut because I was full of it. You know, everything I said for the first 2 years was just wrong. It pissed me off a little bit, but thankfully my sponsor at the beginning said, Dion, for the first couple of years, you're going to be wrong. So be okay with it because you're changing everything. So be wrong and it's okay. Um, I had a fantastic sponsor. Um, and so I followed that. And after a while, the thing is still, 90% of the program still keeping my damn mouth shut. But now I'm just better at it. you know, where I used to react, I don't seem to react as much. The offensive thing happened again today, and I just hit the little X button so I don't have to see it again. Progress, and there's a lot of different ways that we can go with this topic, but we AAers are about action, and a leader in action is a true leader, and I believe myself a leader, or at least I try and be a leader. That doesn't mean that I have a following. That isn't what that means. It means that I have a good reputation and that people are watching me and what I'm doing. So I've got to be a good example. And I love being that. I don't mind it at all. In fact, nothing would make me happier than just being an old man sitting behind a desk helping people out. I'd be happy as horseshit doing that. What are your thoughts on this, Daryl?
On carrying the message
Or
or
back
walking your talk.
walking your talking. That
I
was a
have a
hard
story.
come
I have a story that actually incorporates two. One thing I wanted to mention: you don't need to take credit for what you call sobriety, but maybe you might be able to take that credit for planting that seed.
being here, being available. You bet.
Well, it being the hand of AA.
Yeah,
So,
and
but
and thank you for that. I appreciate it.
yeah, no, dude, it's the truth. How many times have I told you? I remember a conversation that we had. Oh fuck, over a year ago
Yeah,
when you were down a little bit about how many people are watching,
yeah, yeah. I
and
remember that.
and you talked about maybe not doing it anymore. And I told you it's like you're having an impact
Mm-hmm.
type of deal, and regardless if it was Facebook's fault or whatever, it was a God thing.
My viewers have doubled since.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly my point.
yeah,
And there's only one way to do that, and that's called perseverance. You keep at it.
yeah,
You walk with purpose, and because we have intent, and it's the next right thing, and all those other cliches.
yeah.
But I have an experience where it actually incorporated carrying the message and walking the talk. So I used to attend a meeting called the Buckley Group,
All right.
and I was asked to speak. It was a birthday. I don't know how many years ago. A few, but anyway, I think like 15 years ago. So it had to be a little bit more than that because of what one guy said. Anyway, sorry.
All right.
I'm being Daryl. All over the place. So I did my thing and I told my story. And at the end, two people came up to me in particular. And the first one was this guy come up to me and he goes, dude, He says, I've been listening to you for 5 fucking years, and your story never changes. And I looked at him, and he said, I hear you say the same things over and over, basically, to paraphrase. And I looked at him, and instead of going, and I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
Because the truth doesn't change.
Correct.
And
Why should
those
my
things
story change?
those
That means
things
I'm full of
happen.
shit.
Yeah, the only thing changes in my story is I have more experiences to expound upon.
Yeah.
The other thing that happened was this guy comes, a younger guy comes up to me, and I told you, I've said it many times, how I shared Sunday nights at Wash House for a long time. We had one of our March blizzards,
Yep.
and I had a Dodge Diplomat, and me and this other guy drove through that blizzard. It was still going on. It took us, and I was living in Westminster,
Okay.
and I drove to Wash House. And for those that don't know, that's a little bit of a journey from there. But it took us over 3 hours, a little over 3 hours to get there.
Wow.
Of white knuckle bullshit,
Yeah.
and we got there, and the power was out at Wash House, and we walked in there, and those people, most of the residents knew me from past, what you call it. It's a 28-day program. They're going to see you like
Yeah, you
4
were there
times.
because when people think wash house, they think detox, and you're talking about stirge.
I'm talking about, they have a 28-day program as well. Yeah.
Program they had upstairs, which was phenomenal, by the way.
Right.
That was
And
a
so
great
anyway, I come walking in, and this one guy recognized me, and he goes, we ain't got no power. We ain't having no fucking meeting.
we got power.
And I said, somebody got a flashlight. It took me over 3 hours to get here in the blizzard. I need a fucking meeting. We're having a meeting. And we did that. We did that in the regular room. They had one with, it was like a fireplace or whatever upstairs or something like that. And that's where we held that meeting by flashlight.
Yeah, you had a candlelight
well, meeting. At that speakers meeting that I was talking about, this guy comes up to me and he goes, you're probably not going to remember me, but about 15 years ago, you came into Wash House and I was there, and you said that, and we didn't have no power, and you said we were going to have a meeting, and we had that meeting, and I've been sober ever since I left that place. And so, that's just God shit. That was God giving me a reward, kind of basically.
We follow through on what we say.
It's like, here, Daryl, this is why you do this. Yeah. He God threw me a bone.
Yeah. When I told my wife yesterday, everybody keeps saying it. I told you so, Dion. It's just hard for me to believe because I've never been in this position before. So to think
you have
actually listening to me, my brain's like, yeah, okay, yeah. And
you have what, total of 20 years in recovery or something like that?
I'm sorry?
You have like what, 20 some odd years in recovery, all told?
All told, a little over 20 years, and I've been around the program 35.
Yeah, you don't think somebody's listened to you in those 35 fucking years?
Oh, it has to do with.
I promise you, they have.
Yeah. Well, what I do is when people compliment me, what I do is I say thank you, and then I shut up.
I had to learn to do that.
There's a part of my brain that still wants to make every excuse in the world to not be that person.
And many of us do. Yeah. I minimize that shit to this day myself.
Yeah.
And I'm not worthy type shit in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
Because this side of my brain's going, you were that corrupt, nasty ass motherfucker, and none of this is yours.
I don't. I have a huge fear of hurting God's children. So when people are following, my brain tends to think that there's some kind of power there. And I have to remind myself that it's not power. It's not power, it's grace.
It's grace,
And
but also some of our tools, brother, are the shit that we stubbed our toe on.
yeah,
And
exactly.
we're allowed to stub our toes.
Mm. I
We
guess
make
what it comes down
mistakes.
to is I don't want anybody else to think I'm better than them because I'm not. And
No, it's not about
and
that though.
yeah, I
And
know.
and
I
and and that's why we use ourselves as an example. I rarely, well, I guess I probably have once or twice in my lifetime, but I don't say you need to do this or you got to do that.
yeah.
It's like you should.
Yeah,
I
this is what
suggest.
I do, and this
I
was the way.
highly recommend
Yeah,
type of
like
terms.
pulling that parachute cord. And I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you, Patricia. I'm also partially bringing this up because I know other people may go through it, and and so, and I don't mind talking about it. It's just some, to me, this is kind of, it's neat because I'm the center of attention right now, and I love that. Um, so it's also my birthday, so I earned it. But
Yeah, happy birthday.
thank you. There we go.
Someday you get to be
It's
as
a gift
gray as
from
me.
it's a gift from God. Um, and I don't think it's just me. I think sometimes we have a fear of getting better. Um, and I think that's what it is for me, right? And I have to accept it. Okay, I hear you, Patricia. All right. Everybody's saying the same darn thing. I'll accept it and be that person because
You
it's
just,
I'm just being me. So
you get the rewards of this program is when we help others, and
yeah,
the way that we do that, the way that we walk our talk is called consistency.
yeah,
If we are consistent on our path, and we may wobble here or there every now and then along it, but
sure.
we consistently put one foot in front of the other
Mm-hmm.
and say hello to the next guy.
Yeah. I I explained it this way to a friend of mine yesterday. I said, I always pick the harder path because it has people like you on it. That's why I pick the harder path because my people are there. I want the arduous stuff. I want the hard stuff. I'm going to help because I've been there and I know how to help with that.
JFK and the moonshot.
Yeah.
Because it is hard.
Yeah.
We
Because,
go because it is not easy. It is hard,
well,
and it can be.
uh,
That's why I picked that definition of trudge.
yeah.
You
Well,
know,
trudging together itself has meaning, and it doesn't mean necessarily arduous.
we walk with purpose together.
That's it. With purpose is the
With
big thing, and
right,
our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve
the trudge.
sobriety.
The trudge is easier when I'm not walking my path alone.
Yeah, that's why it's trudging together.
I know.
Yeah, I will not. And you've gotten to know me well enough. I don't make any moves or decisions without asking people. I just, um, because I might have a great idea, but then I'll talk to somebody else and they'll make it even better or make it simpler or make it easier. Or they'll
Or
say,
play
dude,
devil's
that's the
advocate.
stupidest fucking thing you should do right now.
Right. Or like I say, play devil's advocate. I need that.
I did,
That's
yeah,
what that's what checks and balances
yeah. You and I play devil's advocate all the time.
all the time.
I mean, it's how we work through problems. It's the way that I work with several of my friends. We play devil's advocate. We know the other person's playing the other side, but it's because we're trying to figure out the right answer. We're not saying anyone's right or wrong. We're trying to figure out what is right. What's going to be
Right.
best for the newcomer? What can we do to change the community a little bit more so that people will come in? more willingly. Um, I was thinking
How
maybe
do I make the
a
attraction?
announcement that
How do
says
I make
AA
the
is not religious.
how, how do I make the attraction more attractive?
Yeah, and that's what we're really trying to do. The attraction on the Hayworth house is all the service work that's going to be available. And it doesn't matter who you are, there's service work available. And it's about community, and everyone's involved. There's nobody, I'm not saying no to anybody that's legit. Um, hey, gotta protect the house first. But the concept's working real well. Um, but yeah, I think consistency, accountability, it's the number one thing that a lot of people have been saying about me lately. I have another friend, and his name's Mark. He's the one sponsoring me, and we got other stuff going on there, trying to get the podcast a little bit bigger. And but he's got the same intentions. We do the same things. But he said, Dion, you never stop. You just don't stop. And that was because I got shut down and wouldn't shut up. I just God has my back, and I know this. It is, if there's a fact in my life, that's it. That would
I'm
be the
going to I'm sorry, but I'm actually going to bug out and go to that other meeting that I got kicked out of.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do a little bit of reading, and I'll probably see you there. I'll be a little bit late though. All
All right,
right.
brother.
I'll
Be
see you there,
well. I
brother.
love you, man.
Love you too. See you in a minute.
Love you guys. Good to see you.
All right. So I'm just going to do a little bit of reading so I can get to that meeting too. This is into action. As we go through the day, we pause when agitated or doubtful and ask for the right thought or action. We constantly remind ourselves we are no longer running the show, humbly saying to ourselves many times each day, Thy will be done. We are then in much less danger of excitement, fear, anger, worry, self pity, or foolish decisions. We become much more efficient. We do not tire so easily, for we are not burning up energy foolishly as we did when we were trying to arrange life to suit ourselves. It works. It really does. We alcoholics are undisciplined. Yep. I'm undisciplined. I know I'm here every day, sometimes 3, 4 times a day. That's my undiscipline. 3 times a day. That's a little excessive. Honestly, it is. Okay. I'm still gonna do it. I know it. I know that it is. It's one of those undisciplined things that I have in my life. Okay. But sometimes I get a feeling that I need to go live. I go live, somebody shows up at the end, they're like, help me, please. No. So I just never know. So we let God discipline us in the simple way we have just outlined. But this is not all. There is action and more action. Faith without works is dead. The next chapter is entirely devoted to step 12. Hey Sam, good to see you. Good to see you. I was just wrapping up on my head to a meeting. But yeah, it's kind of to each their own too. That's the great thing about AA is, we're not going to tell you what you have to be. No, I will tout on the individual's right all day long in AA, all day long. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. And when you say we, she means alcoholics. it's it's part of the process. Okay, it is pain is part of the process. It just is. Um, yeah. um, I feel a little bad. Let's do it. Did somebody try and join again? What's wrong,
I can't
Melee?
get in yet. It hasn't been 24 full hours.
Go to Vitality. Do this. Change your name.
I can't even sign in with my name. I never know how to do that.
Okay.
It must be going off my IP address. It's. I think they kicked me out at like 12:10 or something like that. So it's like just a couple more minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm getting ready to go in. So thank you everybody for being here.
Peace, love you.
Sam, thanks for stopping by. At least you got a couple more seconds with me. But I do appreciate it. Feel free to go back and watch, but it's always good to have you here. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. I love you. Peace out and have a day.